This game is really pretty. It's okay, I know you probably didn't realize that. Those are the kind of insights you watch my show for. But seriously, we're going on almost 3 decades soon, and Street Fighter III is still almost certainly the most common choice for the best looking fighting game of all time. Though, obviously, we're not talking about the original Street Fighter III New Generation, we're talking about Street Fighter III Third Strike, and, well, technically the spot on this list is going to Street Fighter III Third Strike Online Edition. It's a whole thing, we don't have to get into it. The parry is just one of the greatest things ever, right? Sorry if it feels like I'm jumping ahead a bit. Of course, the core, essential Street Fighter gameplay is here and feels as good as ever, but man, the simplicity and power behind that parry. Instead of being defensive all the time, holding back so you can easily block every attack, if you have the balls and the skill, you can instead push towards your opponent, and if you do that the instant you were about to get hit, boom, no damage, instant advantage, slick as heck presentation. Third Strike has a lot going for it, but with just that one mechanic, it suddenly becomes one of the most compelling, high skill ceiling fighting games we have. Interactions can be so weird and interesting and, sometimes almost janky, but not in a way that makes the game feel unpolished, just in ways that keeps things interesting no matter how many hours you've put into it. Now look, I don't really have a good segue for this. I do think Third Strike is one of the greatest fighting games of all time, and I know that's not exactly a position that needs defending, but let me make it unmistakably clear that this game would be several spots lower on my list, if not for featuring my favorite fighting game character of all time, Makoto. This is the Makoto game to me. This is the only fighting game where I have zero desire to ever play around the roster. I barely even play Ken, and he's also one of my favorite fighting game characters ever. Makoto is too much fun. She fits my playstyle too well, and I'm just too used to how she feels at this point. For the uninitiated, Makoto is one of the most aggressive fighting game characters ever created. This could be true all on its own just in her personality. She's an angry, hot-headed teenage girl who cares about nothing except her dojo, fighting, growing stronger, and making her late father proud. But all of that is nothing compared to what she does in gameplay. Alongside having maybe the best damage output in the game, she is also given one of the most unreactable forward dashes in genre history. It goes across nearly the whole screen and even still is faster than most characters on the roster. That's just the tip of the iceberg, but the point is this. I like being able to get in someone's face in the fighting game and never leave. Aggressive is how I do things, and very few other characters in fighting games let me do that the way Makoto does. It's just the cherry on top that her personality and design are not only extremely cool to me, but also perfectly resonate with that gameplay style. Gotta say it again for the end of the segment, Third Strike is one of the greatest fighting games of all time, but I think anyone who plays this genre can tell you that not finding your character can single-handedly break the entire experience of a fighting game, no matter how good the foundation supporting the game is. And conversely, when you find a fighting game character who is a perfect match for you, that can sell the entire game, even among game elements you might not like. I just happen to be extremely lucky that my character happened to be in one of the most celebrated games in the genre.